That was silly.
4-year-old Leah is finally feeling more like herself after she had a medical emergency at her East Charlotte home on April 14th.
I see her face twitching, and then her right side was twitching, and then her arm was twitching.
For the first time in her life, Leah's mom, Teresa Ordonez, says she called 911 for help.
It's like she's having a seizure?
I don't know what's wrong with her.
You can hear the emotion in Ordonez's voice while she's on the phone with the medic dispatcher. Leah has never had a seizure before.
Has the jerking stopped yet?
No, please. Oh.
All right. I'm sending the paramedics to help you now.
Within 10 minutes, only Charlotte firefighters arrived. Paramedics were still on their way.
He told me that they had been diverted somewhere else and that they were going to come in another 25 minutes.
Ordonez told me she couldn't wait for medic. With Leah still actively seizing, she says a firefighter jumped into her car and provided oxygen to Leah on the way to the hospital in Mint Hill.
When we were in the car, she started foaming.
Leah was intubated when she was transferred to Novant Health's main hospital. Doctors gave her 3 medications to stop the seizure.
It was hard for me to see her.
For 5 days, Leah recovered in the hospital.
She would hide her hands.
It was a traumatic experience Ordonez says never should have happened. According to the CDC, a seizure lasting more than 5 minutes can be dangerous.
She could have had brain damage, or she could have died. That's why you call 911, to get help, and they weren't here for us.
I found out 3 times medic diverted ambulances away from Ordonez's home. At 11:09 a.m., Ordonez's 911 call was dispatched. Within 7 minutes, an ambulance was diverted to a cardiac arrest call. At 11:24, a difficulty breathing call came in and an ambulance was diverted to that. At 11:31, another ambulance was diverted because a closer one just became available. Crews were less than 4 miles away when they were canceled at 11:34.
Let me first say, I'm sorry.
Executive Director for Mecklenburg EMS, John Peterson, said this call did not meet his expectations.
It was a very, very busy time frame in particular, and particularly in that geographic area at that time. There was a lot of calls coming in, some really sick people.
Peterson told me medic investigated this call. Leah's ambulance was delayed at least 25 minutes when it should have gotten there within 13 minutes. If a paramedic had arrived, Peterson said they could have given Leah medication to stop the seizure. Now, because of this case, I'm told medic will now classify pediatric seizure calls as a high priority call, meaning it should see a faster response.
It is significant, and it drove real change in the agency. We do not want people to have to wait for an ambulance.
This is Daddy with her.
Ordonez tells me she's glad medic made real change.
Good job.
But she says Leah is no longer the same.
This is the rectal medication that I have to carry all the time.
Ordonez hopes her story strikes a chord within the community.
I'm just hoping this would help so that this doesn't happen again. When I needed them the most, they weren't here.
Medic says response times for certain calls like this one are suffering because of its staffing shortage and increased call volume. Just take a look at this chart showing Medic's Priority 1 response times from April 2019 to April 2022. Down in December 2021, Medic saw its biggest dip in agency history. Ahead to 9/11, I talked to county leaders about solutions and the effort to make sure your 911 call is answered.